Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Political analyst Jomo Thomas has expressed skepticism about seeing any significant positive changes in the country, especially given that 2025 is an election year, as announced by Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves late last year. In an interview with SVG-TV News, Thomas shared his concerns about the government's recent initiatives, particularly the introduction of new payment systems such as the use of bank cards. He believes that there may be an underlying political motive behind these changes.
I expect more of the same. Can I say? People are under a lot of pressure. They may have gotten a reprieve because the government is busily squandering a tremendous amount of money. We see it with the debit card that they have issued to people. I think the debit cards are going to be the new portal, the new avenue towards which the government will get to splurge scarce resources as we approach the elections. If you pay close attention, you would know many of the people who are making applications, who are getting some of these cards, really shouldn't be getting any kind of assistance at all. I'll give you example from people, for example, who might have just gotten a farmer's ID. So you get it today, you weren't engaged in farming before, you get assistance. But I think it's designed that way because they would want to give people some forms of assistance under the guise that they're assisting people who are affected.
Reflecting on the economic impacts caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the eruption of La Soufrière volcano, and most recently Hurricane Beryl, Thomas expressed dissatisfaction with the government's auditing and response to these crises.
I don't know which of those, or at least I have not heard any persuasive explanation, audit from any government official, neither Minister of Finance, neither Prime Minister, neither Minister of Agriculture, about the damage, right, that came from Beryl. You know, each disaster you would hear our Prime Minister, well, the damage are in the millions upon millions, always in the millions upon millions. And I was struck by the approach of the Grenadian government. I listened to Deacon Mitchell, and before he talked about the damages being in any estimate, he said, we are sending a team over to Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and then sometime in the not too distant future, we will have a more scientific estimate as to what it would be, which to me is slightly different from what we do here.
Thomas also raised concerns about the handling and distribution of resources in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, stating that there are too many unanswered questions.
These three events that had an impact on the national economy, had an impact on the people. We have to ask ourselves whether Beryl's impact was the most devastating of the three. I have seen nothing which tells me that Beryl was the more devastating of the three. I'm not saying that there was not damage and destruction, particularly in the southern Grenadines, and some damage on the mainland. But if we look closely, the largesse which is being distributed by the government is much more on the Beryl than whether it was the eruption of the volcano or COVID. Which begs the question, where's the money coming from? And we all know that the government has been borrowing an inordinate amount of money to do all of this, and Beryl provided a perfect opportunity 3.5 years into an electoral cycle.
As the election year progresses, Thomas remains cautious, warning that political motives could influence the government's actions and that citizens must demand transparency and accountability in governance. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has recorded its first homicide for 2025 after Hopewell Mariacourt resident Albert Lorenzo Lewis was found dead under suspicious circumstances. The body of the 63-year-old man was discovered this morning just before 8 a.m., slumped in a chair on the porch of his home. The police say Lewis was found with what appeared to be a wound to the right side of his face and additional scrapes about his body. The police say the crime scene unit, the CSU, processed the scene and removed several exhibits, including a spent shell recovered at the location. The deceased, who reportedly lived alone, was last seen at a shop in the area on the previous evening. Neighbors were shocked when they learned of his sudden passing. One neighbor who spoke to SVG-TV News off camera expressed disbelief, recalling how she had seen Lewis the day before in the same clothes he was found in.
I think it's more before 8 o'clock because it's somebody who going mountain, passed and saw him, and they told his sister-in-law. So his sister-in-law called his nephew, and his nephew called me because I'm the closest. And when I went out there, he calls about 8 o'clock. And when I went out there, I saw him sitting down on the chair lie back. I said, no, this is not right, love, you don't sleep so late. He died. When you go closer, it's a gunshot he got. Since yesterday, he was in that army clothes. Yeah, he went out last night. Because yesterday, I met him and I called him, I give him cake. And we were talking, I said, Lovey. And he was telling me he was by the scene where the guy broke his neck over Richland Park. And I said, see, today we're here, tomorrow we're gone. And I leave and come home. That's the last conversation with him. I gave him cake and he said, thank you. Yeah. And he was supposed to order 2 fowl for me, and he said, next Friday I will bring it. I said, no problem. And this morning I was so shocked.
The neighbor went on to describe Lewis, a welder by profession, as a well-behaved man when sober. She also shared that Lewis had a personal reason for preferring to sleep on the porch. Several relatives had passed away in the house, a memory that seemed to affect him deeply.
The relatives them died. I think they have to call him uncle. The house out there, the 2 that died have to call him uncle. So they put him in the house and he was out there. He's not a bad guy, but you only mean like when he drunk, he just give you words, and if you're not accustomed to him, you will get, annoyed. When he jumped, he cusses a lot. Yeah, but he afraid to sleep in the house. He's right where the porch is, and he put a curtain to bar him. So I said, Lovey, there is not good to sleep. And he said, nobody can trouble him. But he's a cool guy. Only the drinking problem he has and the cussing. He got 2 deaths. He witnessed 2 deaths. His nephews, one of them dead behind it. Like, one died, and 3 months after the other one died. So he was there with them. So from like he saw that I like afraid to sleep in the house.
The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding Lewis's death and is urging anyone with information that can assist to come forward. A post-mortem examination is to be carried out to determine the exact cause of death. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is conducting investigations following the discovery of a decomposed body in Glamorgan on New Year's Day, Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. The body has been positively identified as that of St. Elmore John, a 66-year-old farmer of Belmont. The police say John's remains were discovered by relatives. He was last seen alive on Saturday, December 28, 2024. A post-mortem examination will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. At this time, the police say no foul play is suspected in connection with John's passing. Meanwhile, the police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Cornelius Warren, a 75-year-old resident of Richland Park. Reports indicate that the incident occurred on January 1st, 2025, while the deceased was walking along the Richland Park public road. Upon reaching the vicinity of Munsey Supermarket, Warren reportedly slipped and fell against a concrete wall, sustaining an injury to his head, which caused him to become unconscious. The police say passers-by who witnessed the incident rendered assistance and contacted both the Levi Latham Hospital and the police. Police promptly responded to the scene and met him lying motionless on the ground. The district medical officer arrived shortly thereafter and officially pronounced Warren dead. A post-mortem examination is also expected to be conducted to ascertain the exact cause of death. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. However, the police say no foul play is suspected at this time. Neighborhood watch groups have long played a vital role in crime identification and crime reduction, fostering safer communities across the country. During this morning's COP Chat program on WeFM, Justice of the Peace and resident and president of the Layu Neighborhood Watch Group, Carlton Brown, expressed the importance of the Neighborhood Watch system, commending the members for their ongoing dedication to community safety. Brown emphasized the critical role these groups play in not only reporting suspicious activities, but also in deterring crime through active community engagement.
So the Neighborhood Watch over the many years have been doing a very good job. And we look out for the community. We look out for things that are happening and see where people are breaking the law. And we realize that these things are not proper, so then we have to alert the police and get the police involved. The fact is that we have quite a few police officers sit on the committee with us, which are able to give us advice and show us where we're going and all this kind of thing. So then the fact is that the Neighborhood Watch has been doing a very good job. And because of Neighborhood Watch, you're able to get the criminals under control. Because once they realize that there is a Neighborhood Watch group in the community, you don't know who are watching, where they are watching from, and what they see.
He also spoke about ways in which individuals can join the Neighborhood Watch system, urging those interested to reach out to their local groups.
When a member of the Neighborhood Watch group, we look for persons in the community who will have that interest at heart. And some of the times the president or the PR will go around and look for persons who are interested and speak to persons. We do a little campaigning, and by doing that, we're able to explain to people what we're about, what we want, and we try to create this interest and to get them to understand, well, the point is that the community belongs to all of us, and all of us are supposed to love the community and care for the community and see what is going on and able to get things done.
In addition, Corporal Edson Smith of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force highlighted the success of the watch and word system, which encourages citizens to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Smith urged the public to get involved, saying that community participation is key to reducing crime.
These initiatives, the Neighborhood Watch Group initiative, basically, if you examine the history, it really predates formal police forces. This is something, the watch and ward system that was established by statute under, I think it was Edward I, the 13th century. The watch for the night and the ward for the day. They put together community members to basically patrol, frequent patrols for criminal behavior, fires. So when I hear people say that, I understand the inclination to put a lot of the pressure on the police when they are, and there's an upsurge in crime, so to speak. But it really starts at the community level. We want to encourage people in the community, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, that is, to join either farm neighborhood watch groups or join a neighborhood watch group, close to you, and we definitely provide the resources needed in terms of the training, and it provides. It's a strategy to strengthen the relationship between the police and the public, and it's also a way for the public to know the officers in their districts.
Both Brown and Smith emphasized the importance of community cooperation in crime prevention and encourage more people to get involved in their local watch groups. Businessman Ormiston Arnold Ken Bowe passed away on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2025. According to reports, he was surrounded by his family at his home in Prospect at the time of his death. Bowe, who was well known for his pioneering business ventures in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, made a significant mark in the country's commercial landscape. He served as the former manager of the Eastern Caribbean Group of Companies and was credited with introducing Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, to the SVG market in 1986, a milestone that greatly influenced the local food service industry. In addition to his work with KFC, Boye was involved in several other successful business ventures in SVG, including Radio Shack and Aunt Job Supermarket. His entrepreneurial spirit earned him the distinction of being named the first ever Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, a prestigious award he won after competing against a number of top regional business leaders. Boye also had a brief but notable career in politics. He successfully contested the 1998 general elections as a candidate for the Unity Labour Party, the ULP, and served as an opposition member of parliament until 2001. In the 2001 elections, Boye ran as a candidate for the People's Progressive Movement, the PPM, a political party he co-founded and led. However, he lost his seat and did not experience further success in his political endeavors. Outside of politics and business, Boye was a respected figure in the regional and international business community. He was a shareholder and director of CIBC West Indies Holdings Limited and served as the chairman of the board of directors of the UWI Cave Hill Center for Management Development, Eastern Caribbean. Additionally, Boye contributed his expertise to several other regional and international organizations. His death has been met with an outpouring of tributes from the business and political communities, remembering him as a visionary entrepreneur and dedicated public figure. Boye's legacy will be remembered for his significant contributions to the development of the economy and the business landscape of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Two healthy baby boys were born on January 1st, 2025 at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, bringing extra joy to the new year for their families and hospital staff. The first baby boy made his arrival at 6:22 a.m., weighing a healthy 5.95 pounds. Just 5 hours later, at 11:53 a.m., the second baby boy was delivered, weighing 8.15 pounds. Both babies and their mothers are reported to be in good health, with the newborns receiving a clean bill of health from the pediatric team. Hospital staff celebrated the special occasion, noting that the arrival of two healthy babies on New Year's Day was a heartwarming event. This double delivery adds to the growing tradition of special births marking the new year. Superintendent of Police ASP Panel Brown, who is in charge of the traffic department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, has expressed concern over the significant increase in motor vehicle accidents recorded in 2024. ASP Brown highlighted that the rising number of accidents is a serious issue for the department and the wider community.
1,333 reports of motor vehicle accident reported to the police throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, 504 of these accidents were reported in the Kingstown district, which stretched from Arnersville to Lowman's Leeward. In that span, we had 504 motor vehicle accidents reported to the police in Kingstown. And overall, we had 1,333 accidents reported to the police throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, this is a big increase because in 2023, we had 845 accidents reported to the police island-wide throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 2023 and 781 in 2022. We are also seeing an increase in the amount of accidents reported with injuries. Now, in 2024, we have 313 accidents reported where injuries are concerned.
Looking specifically at the month of December, ASP Brown noted that a large number of accidents were reported, most of which occurred in the Kingstown district.
For the month of December 2024, we had 53 reported accident that was reported to the Kingstown district and 36 from the out district. So we had 53 and 36 reported from the out district, make it a total of 89 accidents reported for the December Christmas season, for the December month.
In light of these troubling trends, ASP Brown once again appealed to motorists to exercise caution on the roads. The Traffic Department is continuing its efforts to address road safety and reduce accidents, and ASP Brown reiterated the importance of everyone playing their part in keeping the roads safe.
People are glued to their cellular phone, they are driving and they are glued to their cellular phone, they are eating and being distracted while they are driving. All of these are leading cause why we have the increase in motor vehicle accident. Persons don't want to stop at the stop line when they are approaching pedestrian crossing. All these are facts. While we are having so many accidents on our roads, so I'm advising drivers, please, to desist. One, from drinking while driving. I did not say alcohol beverages, drinking while driving. 2, avoid eating while driving. 3, avoid using your cellular phone while driving. This is a major concern for the police, and we are going to clamp down on it. We are going to clamp down on the persons who are using their gadgets while they are driving. It's a major distraction.
The SVG Meteorological Services has provided a 72-hour weather outlook, indicating that the Atlantic high-pressure system remains the dominant weather feature, bringing cool air across the islands, particularly during the evenings and overnight hours. Good visibility is expected to continue across St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the next few days. However, lower-level clouds are forecast to increase across the Grenadines later today, with a few scattered showers expected across SVG on Friday and over the weekend. Saharan dust concentrations are also expected to spread across the region, bringing a slight haze or film to the atmosphere by Saturday. Moderate breezes are expected to gradually increase, with winds peaking tonight at 35 to 40 kilometers per hour. Wind directions will vary, ranging from northeasterly to easterly in some areas. Sea conditions are currently slight to moderate in open waters, with northerly swells near 1.2 meters to the west of the islands and 1.8 meters to the east. Occasional gusty winds may cause sea conditions to become more turbulent, with swells rising to around 1.5 meters west of the islands and 2 meters east of the islands. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution due to the possibility of occasional gusty winds, breaking waves, and rip currents. The public is encouraged to stay updated with further weather reports and to take necessary precautions, especially along coastal areas.